of science fiction. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Star Trek Picard Season 2. Fly Me to the Moon, a Frank Sinatra song there in this episode. And I have to say this episode was amazing. Really enjoyed this. There's a lot going on and we're still not getting answers. You know, but they're all leading to the big questions, you know, to get the big answer. So we start from last week. They rescue Rios from the ICE agents. They're taking him to a sanctuary district, which is sort of interesting. A nice little tribute there. Then we jump across to Jurati and the Borg Queen. Now, the Borg Queen in this is my favourite person in this series. She is so sneaky, manipulative, malevolent. She's even got her own little bit of theme music going for her, and she just creeps you out, and she is amazing. The actress that plays her has definitely made this her own, and you can tell I think she's really enjoying doing this. And I do feel for Borg Queen. She's sort of tied up and she's got half her body. And there's a bit of sparring between her and Jurati about she can see other timelines and other realities, and in every single one of them you're alone. And it really plays on Jurati's character, and I love that how manipulative the Borg Queen can be. Basically, they shouldn't have left her alone with Borg Queen, because I've always found Jurati's got a bit of a dark side to her, you know. For science, she's prepared to cross that line a bit, you know, to get what she wants. But the Borg Queen, she phones up the police, and she phones up the French police because, like, she's picking up on all the phone calls and internet and all this, and she tries to get into a cell tower, and ship won't let her, and then she uses Rio's voice, and she does it, and she phones up the French police, and this poor French policeman turns up, and to him it's like, I love it. They bring in the UFO encounter, and she's leading him. He goes into the ship. She's leading him. She's like, help me. And he walks in. He sees her hanging there, and a big tendril comes out and grabs him. Fantastic. Meanwhile, Picard, we get to see the Watcher. We find out a bit more. I am so hungry on this because, you know, I was fascinated by Gary 7 years ago. Now, I have read the books. I know that he had a lot to do with Khan Noonien Singh, and he was the one that got him onto the Botany Bay at Area 51 and blasted him off after the eugenics wars. Now, there's loads of questions about when all this happened. It was in the 90s, but the eugenics war, some people are now saying that it wasn't how it was meant to be. It was fought in like the shadows. They were like powerful people manipulating world events, which would make a lot of sense, and you could fit it into canon that way, but we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, is that canon? So, you know, I've read a few comics for Gary 7 when he meets Captain Kirk again, and apparently he works for an alien agency called the Aegis. Now, I'm very surprised because I thought the Watcher would have known who Q was, because she said the people she works for, they're like the guardians of time, like the tapestry. There's certain things that have to be watched and protected to keep events on track. So who are they? Are they up there with a Q? Because when she said, what's the Q? I was very surprised at that. I thought she would have known what the Q was. And then you do jump to Discovery that they said there's been no contact with the Q continuum in 700 years. Now, what's going on with Q? His powers don't seem to be fully working. He's manipulating events, yet did he transport all them back through time? Normally Q's like on through all his craziness and all wackiness what he does, there is a sense of order to it, that he is on your side, even though how he goes about things, you know, he's pretty, you know, he's not as dark. You remember the final episode, Next Generation, the two-parter, All Good Things. You know, even though he were there, he would lead along, he didn't fully interfere, did he? But in this, he seems quite malevolent, especially what he did to, now we've got Data's family, now we've got Sung, who's got a daughter with the genetic condition, which is great because it leads on to, obviously, the grandson who is in Enterprise, the other one. So the family line obviously is continuing there. It's just interesting that he followed genetic and that he carried on until they went into artificial life forms. But it gives them a cure, and it don't work. Well, it only works for a couple of hours, and then obviously there's this conversation where it's really dark, and Q says, hey, "You can help me get. There's obstacles in my way." So, is the timeline, the changing of the timeline, is it so big that this event that even overpowers the Q? Because the Q can alter reality just by a snap. And he's just, this power is not there. And his Q seems so much darker as well. So is he the baddie in this? You know, is he going to be the big manipulator? I know he's manipulating, like Rennie Picard, Picard's great-great-aunt, who goes to Europa. And he's manipulating her into he's feeding on her depression. I did like the thing about mental health that was mentioned. I thought it was handled with a lot of tact. I really did like that. Also, that the Borg Queen, when her and Jurati, the ending just is great, because when she has to go to this ball, because with the Watcher, they've got to watch this Renee Picard. She's got to do this mission to save reality, like keep the timeline straight. And Jurati gets caught, and she's inside, hacked his computer network, and sat next to her is the Borg Queen. And it comes out that she nanited herself, her conscience, into her, which I found fascinating. And the actress that plays the Borg Queen, she's awesome. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if she's like, because obviously the Borg Queen's going to meet the good Q, there's going to be the final sort of thing where they all go against Q, or it's, you know, we don't know yet, but it does seem much darker. Picard said in episode 1, they said there's something wrong with him, there's something not right. So where all this is going is fascinating. I think we're going to get another week next week in the 21st century, and then I think after, I'd say by episode 7 we're going to jump back into the future. But will it be changed? I don't know. I mean, we're getting a lot of great questions here, which are making us hungry for the answers. And the episode moves along really good. I like the Seven and Raffi thing, when they get into a bit of an argument. But now the threads are coming more together. Is Guinan going to be in it next week? I don't know. It should be interesting. But all in all, this has been a fantastic episode. But wouldn't it be interesting if the Borg Queen tries to assimilate Q? Because Q, even if he's lost his powers, the one thing he does have is the universal intellect. His intellect will be infinite. You remember the episode, Next Gen lost his powers, but he still had the intellect, didn't he, of an omnipotent entity. So that's going to be interesting. And where's the other Q? Have they all died off? Something's going on, which has made him darker. Now it's coming out, he's the one trying to manipulate events. So, he brought him on to the past. I don't know. There's more questions than answers at the moment. But everything sort of culminated in this episode as something very good. I absolutely adored it. Roll on next week. I really would like to binge watch this. It's a shame it's just once a week. Sorry about the late review. I've had COVID. It's going now. Another day I should be alright. And I will see you on the next video. I honestly, I'm so impressed with this. and it's just the canon they're bringing into this is. I think it's connecting the older Star Trek fan. I grew up on the original. The 90s for me were the golden era of Star Trek. You know, and that stuck with me in a big way. So, just to get these like little tidbits is awesome. But the Borg Queen, I just love her. She's great, creepy, all of it, malevolent, manipulative. You know, they shouldn't have left Jurati with her, because she does have that side to a Jurati, doesn't she? She's quite, you do feel for her, like, about her being lonely, but, you know, well, I love the character development in this. So please give this channel a like, please subscribe. I will see you on the next episode. A week's too long to wait for this, and have a great weekend. Live long and prosper.